He said it like he was telling me he'd borrowed a pen. We were in the kitchen, late afternoon light slanting across the counter. He was leaning against the fridge, phone in hand. That loose grin he wore when he wanted to see how far he could push before someone noticed. I ordered a few things on your Amazon. He said, smirk first, word second. Hope that's cool. I didn't answer right away. I asked what he ordered. He shrugged. Headphones. A jacket, some gaming thing. He waved it off with a flick of his wrist, already bored with the conversation he'd started. That night, I checked the account. I didn't gasp. I didn't swear. I just watched the numbers add themselves up with a kind of bureaucratic cruelty towards 800. Their 367 multiple orders expedited shipping. I took screenshots, changed the password, froze the badly. In the morning, I called my sister. She laughed. Not mean laughter. Familiar laughter. The kind that assumes forgiveness before it's been offered. It's not that much, she said. Just a kid. Just let it go. I waited for the rest. The apology, the promise to pay me back, something that acknowledged the shape of the thing. Nothing came. She started talking about school fees, about how expensive everything was now, about how I was always better with money. Anyway, when I hung up, the quiet in my apartment felt different, not empty. Clarified. I made coffee. I sat down. I looked again at the screenshots. Then I thought about other mornings like this one. About tools I'd lent and never seen again. About favors that had slid into expectations. About how often family had been used to explain why I shouldn't mind. By noon, the anger had settled into something steadier. I wasn't interested in yelling. I wasn't interested in being right out loud. I was interested in balance. That evening, I drove to my sister's house. I still had a key. She'd insisted I keep one years ago, back when it was convenient for her to know I could help at short notice. The driveway was full. Everyone was home. The lights were on. I didn't go inside. In the garage sat the thing she'd asked me to store temporarily, almost a year ago, a set of audio equipments. And then realized she didn't have room for. You don't mind, right? She'd said, it's basically yours anyway. You're the one who knows how to use it. I'd minded. I just hadn't said so. I opened the trunk, took photos, loaded the equipment carefully, piece by piece, padding it with blankets so nothing would shift. I locked the garage. I locked the car. I drove home. I slept deeply for the first time in days. At 8 the next morning, my phone rang. I didn't answer. I imagined the moment instead. The garage door lifting, the pause, the brain scrambling to reconcile what it expected with what it saw, the scream that followed, raw, indignant, pitched not just at the loss, but at the surprise of it. By 9, the messages started coming. Consin accusation. Then a sudden, sharp politeness. I replied once. I attached the screenshots. I attached photos of the equipment. I wrote one sentence. I've offset what was taken. There was a long gap. When she called again, her voice had changed, softer, measured. She talked about misunderstanding, about how we shouldn't involve other people, about how family handle things internally. I agree, I said. Which is why this is handled. She asked when she could come get the equipment back. When the account is settled, I said in full. There was another pause, not silence, this time calculation. She mentioned the police, then insurance, then dropped both when I reminded her of the receipts, the dates, the fact that nothing I'd taken exceeded the amount charged, and that everything was documented. By afternoon, the money was back in my account. The house was quiet that night. Too quiet, maybe. I noticed the absence of the background noise. I'd gotten used to requests, expectations, the low hum of being who could be leaned on without asking. Weeks passed. The equipment stayed with me. No one joked about borrowing anything anymore. My nephew avoided my eyes the next time I saw him. My sister was civil, careful, newly precise. I didn't feel victorious. I felt adjusted. There was a causes. The warmth was gone, replaced by distance that felt earned and a little sad. But there was also relief in knowing that my boundaries were no longer theoretical. Sometimes I think about how easily it could have gone another way. A loud fight, a family meeting, months of resentment disguised as reconciliation. Instead, there was a quiet correction, a scream in a driveway. Yes, but after that, a recalibration. I still shop on Amazon. I still keep receipts and I sleep fine.